And hello, everybody, and welcome to part 2 of the PDC Darts World Championship preview. In the last part, we did all of the round 1 matchups that we were able to do, so we now have a full bracket of 64 awesome competitors that are going to fight it out for the chance to continue on in this tournament. So the seeds will start this round, and we're going to highlight these 8 matches here in sessions 3 and 4 in this video. Now, as I mentioned in the previous video, this will not be the order that they will happen in real life. I can't do it in the order of real life because it doesn't make any sense. Because I can't do all of round 1, and I'm trying to keep my bracket organized, and since I'm not doing this on an actual television, I don't have to put all the awesome players at the very end of the evening session, so I get a little more flexibility, and I'm choosing to use it. Anyway, with that said, let's get on to our first matchup between Gerwin Price and Nathan Aspinall. Now, this could actually be a very interesting matchup. You've got Gerwin Price, a Premier League player who, well, to be nice, didn't have a very good time in the Premier League. However, he has rebounded from that to win a Euro Tour event and also winning a controversial Grand Slam of darts just last month. He's playing his best darts of the year by far, and I really like him in this tournament as a whole. Now, we shouldn't sleep necessarily on Nathan Aspinall. He's also a good player. He's having a good year as well. That's why he's here. But can he keep up with a player of Gerwin Price's caliber? I think the answer to that is no. I think Gezi is just too strong, especially in the scoring. I think even if his finishing dips a bit like it can at times, I think he's got more than enough scoring power to make up for it. I think he's just going to overpower Aspinall and go on to a 3-1 win. I think that's the most likely scenario. Could be 3-0, but I just don't see this one being all that competitive. So let's get out to the Aki and see how we do. So we got Aspinall and Price. And here we go. And, oh wow, look at that. It's only 3-2. Now, that's kind of surprising because look at this. Gerwin Price actually won fewer legs, only threw 4 180s to Aspinall's 9, and his finishing was not amazing, pretty good. But it's not like he was finishing at some ridiculous amount. I am amazed here. That is called good timing, to be out-averaged by more than 6 points, get out-legged, and to still win. There's nothing in this to suggest that Gerwin Price should win, except the fact that there's a 3 rather than a 2 next to his name. Well, what can I say? The man knows how to win, and he will be moving on to round 3. But who will he play in round 3? He will either play the original Kyle Anderson or Jeffrey de Graaf. Now, this one is kind of an interesting matchup. Kyle Anderson has not had a great year, but he's been all right. He's still ranked number 27, down a little bit from last year. But the real question is he in form? It's hard to say. He's kind of been up and down all year, and that's kind of continued now. So he's a real question mark, in my opinion. I think he certainly has the game. He's got the talent. He can go really far. It's just a question, can he stay in form long enough to do it? However, he got a pretty good draw here. I don't see Jeffrey de Graaf as much of a threat. He's had a tough year. He could lose his tour card potentially, and really, he hasn't really been competitive in many important matches throughout the year, and I don't see it changing here. I think Kyle Anderson probably wins 3-1. I think de Graaf can probably pull out one set when Anderson goes in a little bit of a slump, but overall, I can't see this one being close, and it could be a runaway, so let's go ahead and get out to the Aki and take a look. a mistake. I made a mistake. I will... Okay, this one doesn't count because I put 2 instead of 3, so that doesn't count. I put in the wrong settings, sorry. Yeah, I know, that's kind of silly, but I announced it before I saw it. I made a typo on the settings, so there we go. First to 3. I had 3 to 1 what I said it was going to be. Yeah, very sorry, but from time to time I'll accidentally put in the wrong input into the controls, and it can cause it to make a mistake, like pick the wrong player, the wrong match length. If it does, I'll just say, hey, I've made a mistake, and just say this match doesn't count. So Kyle Anderson won 3 to 1. And if we analyze the match, he just played better pretty much across the board. More 180s, better finishing, better scoring. And, well, yeah, that usually means you win pretty easily. 11 legs to 5, so this one wasn't really all that competitive. All right, next we have Ian Diamond White against Devin Peterson. I think Devin Peterson is one of the more popular players on the PDC. When he qualified for the World Championships and the African qualifiers, it amazed me how many people were celebrating and sending him messages about how awesome it was to see him come back. And I think that's pretty cool. But does his game match the hype and the dancing? Probably not. But when he's playing his best, he could be a threat. Unfortunately for him, he's playing a player who's had an excellent year, Ian White. He was first in the Players' Championship Order of Merit, hence why he was the 1 seed in the Players' Championships. He won his first stage event this year and almost made his first TV semifinal, but unfortunately his stage abilities and his performances has never quite matched his floor performances. This is on stage, so you just don't know what you're going to get with the diamond. So we'll see, but I think Ian White will take care of business. I think the tournament really will start for him in his next match. I think he wins 3-0. So let's get out to the Aki and take a look. All right, Devin Peterson. I'm going to take a moment to let him dance. Okay, he's done dancing. Not put in the wrong inputs for a change. And here we go. 3-2 to Ian White. Well, that was actually a close match. White didn't play very well, only averaging 89. That's quite poor, really. Could have lost this. Really could have. Just, well, what can I say? That's Ian White on stage. He just didn't bring it, but he survived. So I'm sure at the end of the day he'll say, "Hey, I'm going on." So he's not going to complain too much with a 3-2 win. But he'll also know that he's going to need to play better than that if he's going to beat either Steve West or Richard North. But these are pretty solid players. They're kind of similar in terms of what they like to do. However, I like Steve West here. He's had a very good year. I think he's the better player. I think he's the more consistent player. His big win of the year was getting fairly well in the European Championships. He did upset the 4-time reigning champion, MVG, and that just kind of capped off a really good year for him. So I think his resume for the year is just a lot better than Richard North's. That's why he's seeded 22nd. I don't even believe he was seeded in last year's World Championship, so he's had a big performances. So with that said, let's get down to the Aki and see what's going to happen. I like Steve winning 3-1, by the way. Make sure I have his number correct. I do. And here we go. Three zero. Wow. Well, I think this is the case. Neither player played very well. Steve, well, he wasn't scoring too well and had some trouble finishing, but his opponent certainly could finish 4 for 20 on the doubles. That's just not going to cut it against anybody. So another ugly win, but winning ugly is certainly better than losing pretty. So Steve West will be going on to take on Ian White in the third round. That should be a very good match. Looking forward to seeing that one. All right, so now to the other side of this bracket. We have the rock star Joe Cullen against the history maker Brendan Dolan. Wondering why he's called the history maker. It's because he threw the first 9-darter in the World Grand Prix, the double-in tournament, as in making history. He has not had a good year. He has been falling in the rankings, and it's just been tough. He's had his moments, but he's been a bit of a struggle. You kind of feel like maybe his best years are behind him, but he'll try to make a comeback here. As for Joe Cullen, Joe has been very good, especially on stage. He's been very, very consistent, perhaps the most consistent player on tour outside of the super elites. He just seems to never lose to players he should be beaten. And if he can just get to where he can beat those top players a little more consistently, he's going to be very dangerous going forward. So I really like Joe Cullen a lot, not just in this match, but in the whole tournament. I could see him going pretty damn far. So, of course, I'm picking Joe in this match. Dolan, though, when he gets hot, he can be dangerous, but I just don't see it. I think Joe wins either 3-1, maybe 3-2 if Dolan plays well, but I just can't see this one being an upset. So we'll see. Here we go. And the winner is Joe Cullen. Wow, he averaged 102. That's our highest average of the World Championship so far. 9 180s and 16 legs. That is some power scoring. 11 out of 29 on the doubles. I think he'll take that all week. So, there you go. If Joe Cullen can play like this against the MVGs, the Peter Wrights, the guys like that, the guys who really are a threat to him, the guys you can actually say, okay, this guy's better than him, if he can put together a game like that, he could easily make a semifinal or even more in a World Championship. He should have been in the finals of the Euros, didn't get there. But yeah, to me, Joe Cullen is trending up in a big way, and I like him going forward. So this was a very good start for him. Up next, we have Mervyn King against Jan Decker. We saw Jan Decker beat Lisa Ashton in the first round. Now, this one's going to be a little tough to predict. You got Mervyn King. He has been a good player for so long. He's won a lot of stuff. He won a Pro Tour tournament this year on the Players' Championship, so he's shown he can still win. But, of course, Jan Decker, the most enigmatic player on tour, you never know what you're going to get. You know you'll get good finishing, but he could go out there and not hit a treble for about 25 legs. But then he can turn around and throw a bunch of 180s. So, who do I take? Do I take the more consistent player? Do I take the more erratic player who can be bigger? Well, I would pick Jan Decker in this one. Sorry, Mervyn. I just think if Decker can score, he's going to win. Mervyn King, he has a much higher floor, but his ceiling's a lot lower too. But I think it's going to be really close. I think 3-2 Decker, and he finds a big finish to win in the last leg. So let's take a look. Here we go. And the winner is Jan Decker, 3-2 on an 81 checkout. Wow. Wow. Oh, but look at that. Just like I said, he had a big finish, 180, and then he took out 261 in 5 darts in the final leg. So, yeah, I was all over that one. But yeah, very evenly matched game, and it basically came down, just like I said, Decker found some miracle play there at the end to take out King. So, well done, Jan. That was a good performance for you. Though his finishing was not up to his usual standard, so he's going to have to get that right if he's going to have any chance against Joe Cullen. Based on my earlier analysis, I think you all know who I'm going to pick in that one, but you'll have to wait for the next video just to be sure. Go ahead and record this one up here. 2-3 for Deca. Our first seed to fall is Mervyn King. Okay, up next we have Benito van de Pas and Mickey Mansell. Oh boy. Now, I'm going to try to be nice, but Benito van de Pas is a train wreck right now. We're talking about a guy who went stretches where he averaged in the 60s and was struggling to get to the 80s at points this year. And to be quite honest, I haven't seen anything to suggest he's gotten any better. Now, I'm sure he's probably not going to average in the 60s, but I just haven't seen any signs of life from him all year long. And he has tumbled down the rankings. He's all the way down to 30, lucky to even be in the World Championships. And next year, if he doesn't put in some good performances, we may not hear from him again for quite a while. As for Mickey Mansell, well, he's been around for quite a while. He'd never won anything, and then out of nowhere, he wins a Players' Championship event this year. It was awesome for darts to see Mickey Mansell win something. I think everyone was happy about that. But he's still just an alright player. So, who do I go with? Do I go with the young guy who's in horrible form, or do I go with the older guy who's probably had the best year of his career? It's close, but I'm going to go with Mickey. I just don't think Van de Pas has any confidence right now. I don't think he's got anything to offer. I hope I'm wrong. You always cheer for guys to turn their games around and reach their potential, but on this particular day, I don't see it. I think Mansell wins 3-1. All right, so with that said, let's get him out there. Invalid player. Not sure why that was an invalid player. What? My program here has gone loco. So we're gonna restart the program. It's come completely loco. Just a moment. Go ahead and run a test here to make sure it's not going berserk. Okay, it's working again. Not quite sure what all that was about. Alright, so I just had them play one leg just to get the program going. Perhaps the game didn't like how I was trashing both of these players, but I really wasn't. I was being rather nice. Alright, so Mickey Mansell and Benito van de Pas. Five legs, 3 sets, and 1 winner. Here we go. The winner is Clearly we're having some more technical difficulties. Oh, there it goes. What in the what? What in the what? I wonder how many times they actually played. Apparently, I'm just checking to make sure this didn't make a mistake, because that was an inexplicably long match. Okay, it seems to be working. Anyway, so technical difficulties aside, well done Benito van der Paas, winning. Mansell, 9 for 38 on the doubles. He knows exactly why he lost as he walks off the stage. Going under 25% is simply not good enough. So we will put this one in the books. And now for our final match of the evening, it will be Tony Alcinous against Peter Snakebite Wright. Now, Alcinous from Spain definitely was impressive in last year's World Championship, getting all the way to round of 16. That's certainly better than he would have expected. And he's definitely rode that wave to having an alright year. As for his opponent, Peter Wright, the world number 3, he'll be looking for his first world championship this year, and I think most would agree he's certainly a contender. One of the most popular players on PDC. He's won all sorts of events, although his year has not been the best. He certainly was a little better last year than he was this year. But in this match, I don't think it's going to matter. I think Snakebite is simply too good for Alcinous. I think he'll outclass him pretty much from start to finish. Peter Wright's not in the best form right now, but even a bad game for Peter Wright should be good enough. Alcinous will have to play his very best to even be competitive. I think Snakebite wins 3-0. So with that said, let's take a look. And here we go. And the winner is Peter Wright, 3-0. Alcinous only had one dot at a double, so that was pretty much a beatdown. Almost a pure whitewash, not even a dot at a double. Yeah, Snakebite averaged a ton, good scoring. 9 for 22 on the doubles. He'll take it. He'll probably feel he could maybe do a little better, but he's not going to complain too much with that. So yeah, that's a pretty solid game. If Snakebite can stay at that level, he's definitely going to be in contention for much bigger and much better things going forward. So we'll go ahead and put this one in the books. So there we have it. Session 3 and Session 4 complete. We have our 8 winners. We only have one seed upset. That was Mervyn King in the hands of Jan Decker. Our other seeds all survived. And we should have some very good round 3 matchups going forward. In the next video, we'll check out sessions 5 and 6, which will include the reigning world champion Rob Cross and some other great players, including Mincer, Michael Smith, and Johnny Clayton, who have all won things this year. And we're going to see how they do in the next video. So be sure to tune in for that. Also, please do remember to like this video, especially if you liked it. Drop me a sub if you can, because I will always be producing some awesome content for y'all to enjoy. And so until the next video is out, please do remember to tune back in and have a great rest of your day.